Hello and welcome. This is Old School Retro Law. If you don't know me, I am Dantron69K here with my fabulous co-pilot, Wolfman.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey, I just wanted to take a moment. We just wanted to take a moment to go over what is Old School Law. Like, what is this show? What is it that we do? So first off, we got to go backwards a little bit, backwards, back in time. So we are not necessarily spring chicken. So we knew what it was like back there with the Atari and the original Nintendo and N64, Wolfman's
And
favorite.
Odyssey for me and
Yep.
ColecoVision.
Yeah, so we go way, way back. We are collectors, and anything that we talk about or show on here, it's not again. This is I'm going to steal this from Wolf. It is not braggadocious. Has nothing to do with the looking at what we got or whatnot. We like to have conversations like we're sitting together in our like let's say we're at the same apartment or the same house, sitting on the same couch, just talking games, just sitting down, talking games, different ideas on video game, where is it heading, preservation, what types of systems. We have special guest stars that are going to be on here, and so it's not just our opinions. We're going to have other varying opinions from people with different backgrounds, and this whole show is just about that gaming for the love of the game, for the love of people, and just being able to have a good time together. And so, Wolf, what do you got, buddy?
I mean, it's exactly what you said. I think it's a wonderful idea and it's a great show because it's just friends sitting down, spitfiring, talking about stuff that we love. We love arcades, gaming, collecting retro gaming systems, modifying, gaming systems, taking apart stuff, accessories, peripherals, like just it's just going to be great stuff and kind of keying in the community on what it's like to get involved in such an expensive hobby as it is today. I mean, I guess it could be as expensive as you want it to be and it could be as cheap as you want it to be. So it's all about what you're trying to do. What are your goals in this hobby? You trying to get every single N64 game? Okay, then you better have some money, set aside. Or do you want to just pick up a working console and get maybe 4 to 5 games that are nostalgic to you that you remember? And then that's a different ball game right there.
Right, unless you remember, and that game is something like Metal Warriors for Super Nintendo,
Yeah,
then
right.
good luck buying that one. But no,
Yeah.
that's some of the stuff we're going to talk about. It's not just the gaming scene, but it's also consoles, like you mentioned, peripherals. Some games we might cover, some games that we remember that we like playing. They might not be like a 10 best list or anything like that. It's just something that meant something to us as we grew up, right? So a lot of times we'll have, I just gave an example. A lot of times we'll have a game that will hold up and we'll talk about, like this one. Like we're talking about Dreamcast, and I'm gonna say something like Code Veronica, and I'm gonna discuss what why I like this game, and some of the benefits and the fun memories that I have. Weird stories sometimes will come out of that. A couple of the things that we try to do, it's not 100% because we're not going to be able to do that, would be we try to have the physical copy to show you. We'll try and show you a physical console as well in our console episodes. And there's also going to be supplemental episodes that are going to come up because you can't cover everything in 1 hour or 2 hour episode. There's going to be multiple based upon certain systems and certain criteria. And so it's just a fun environment that we just want everybody to be a part of as well. It's kind of like I call it a window into the inner sanctum of just us as friends hanging out and you saying, "Come on, you guys, you can come hang out with us. It's cool." Because again, what's the expectation? It's just fun. No,
Yep.
yeah, we might make jokes and we might tease each other every once in a while, but that's not what it's all about. It's all about that we just enjoy being around each other, talking about something that we care about, and we care about retro gaming. We they carry a memory for us, and it's fun to share that memory or those memories with people that might not know your memory and share that with them, and they can create a new memory with you based upon your other memory. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. And one of the other things that I really enjoy is, we're already brainstorming about different ideas like top 10 lists or bringing in guests and we all pick a few games and then kind of vote and whittle it down and just just fun stuff like that. And and I'm stealing this from Dan, in that retro law is all about one take. So you may see, we'll be talking, and my son might, run by real quick, and I'll be like, what the heck's going on? And I'll look back, oh well. I mean, he's in that episode. So, we're not gonna throw a whole bunch of fancy, editing at you. This is raw, it's live, it's uncut. We're in your face, we're in your living room, and we're talking about things hopefully that you enjoy. Gaming.
Yep, and that's exactly one and done. Set it and forget it like a crock pot, because that's what's happening here. It happens live. So if somebody has uncontrollable flatulence, guess what? It's probably going to be on here. Someone burps like crazy because they've had a little bit too much of the soda juice. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be on here too. And that's okay, because it would be the same way if we were hanging out as friends anywhere else.
Yep.
This is not gender specific either. If you were girls hanging out with us, guys hanging out with us, I don't care about your genders. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter socioeconomic. I don't care. I don't care. If you like gaming and you're just a cool person, this stuff is for you. If you feel like you want to get into retro gaming, that's the great thing about this. And one of the first ideas that Wolf and I wanted to talk about, because we are into retro gaming, we do have lots of systems and games, is we really wanted to focus on what about the new person that's thinking of getting into it? What if somebody goes, oh, I kind of remember playing something like that somewhere, and they want to look at that episode and go, oh shoot, I kind of like this game, right? So we wanted to do that for them. We wanted them to understand, is this something that you want to do? Is this something you don't want to do? Because retro game collecting can be cost prohibitive. Like, there are certain systems out there, I'll flat out tell you, Sega Saturn is one of them. Actually, I did notice Sega Saturn prices on games are starting to actually drop a little bit. But systems like Neo Geo,
Yeah.
or any of those where you're basically going to be selling a kidney for one game, right? Or the console itself. But we want to be able to talk about those things, because there are some people that are like, I had a Neo Geo growing up, or I had a Sega Saturn. You know what I'm saying? So, but we want to be realistic in explaining, what systems are what, how collectible is the system. So we usually, at the end of our console episodes, we're going to come up with something like a grading scale. I'm guessing probably an A through F grading, as everybody knows that from school, right? So A for collectability, for the best, basically A plus for a really collectible system, and here's why, and we'll lay it out. Or D because of these other reasons, and we'll explain why. There's a couple criteria that I know we're shooting for. Wolf, do you remember the criteria, or you want me to spit them out?
For what?
For how we grade.
Let's see if I can remember. It's late, my time, but it's I guess if people try to get into the hobby now, is the console and its games, affordable for people, I think, is one. Another is probably like fun factor, like how, the console, is it fun, or does the games or the console have a big library enough
Does
for
it
you
hold up? Yep.
to hold up over time? I think we talk about is it peripherals?
Accessibility. Those are the big three,
That's
right?
it. Yep.
How accessible are the games and the consoles? So those are the three criteria that we're shooting for. Good job, Wolf. You passed. So when we come into there, and we'll talk about this again, of course, but those are the criteria that we're going to go. So we might get to the end of a console and we'll talk about, all these great things about that console, but then we might come into towards the end and we'll have to discuss, like, it's hard to find some of these games, or it's hard to find this console, or the games that you're going to want for this console are very, very expensive. And so that's going to change how we grade it. But that's really the main point of Old School Law, is just to give some knowledge. You're going to find some nerd facts here and there, and just some jokes. We tend to have, fun, and then we tend to use lots of puns too a lot of times. But that's okay, because fun puns. That's just, how we roll. We're dads. So,
right.
But anyways, this is just an intro to what to expect from Old School Law. Wolf, you got anything else before we
definitely
wrap it up?
And absolutely. So I think what sets our show apart from maybe, I don't want to say other shows that have similar topics, is we're going to be very real with you. I know one of my things is that I'll be almost honest to a fault. And if we're talking about a topic and most people like the particular system and it's my turn, I'll look everybody right in virtual cyberspace and say, not me. I dislike it. I don't like that particular system. I don't like the controller. I thought the games kind of stunk, except for, maybe 15 or 20 of them. And I'll be honest. And so you're not going to get a bunch of BS from us. You're going to get real, honest opinions from people that have the actual hardware, that have used it, that have collected it. And I think that's important. So we're going to give you all the information that you need to make a really good, educated, monetary decision when you're ready to jump into said console or buy said games. You're going to have really, I think, a solid foundation from these shows to make very good decisions.
And here's another thing to touch on what Wolf just talked about. This is a safe space. Anyone that's on here and they're discussing, they're safe in their opinions. We don't judge, we don't pick on. This is how conversations and opinions should be. And I'm not going to get on my soapbox, but this is how it should be. You
Yep.
should be able to have a nice, comfortable conversation with each other, not belittle each other. You can tease because everybody teases a little bit, but that's what this is. This, I said it already from the beginning. This is about for the love of the game. This is about love for retro games, love for sharing knowledge, just love for just hanging out with each other. So if we just, it's like basically like a Zoom chat that we're just hanging out and talking, and we just happen to record it for you. That's
Yep.
really it, because that's how it rolls.
Yep.
So, but I do definitely agree with what you're saying, Wolf. This is what it is.
Yeah. And there's times too, as you know, Dan, where we'll give facts and stuff. And, hey, look, I think I have a good knowledge and stuff, but I'm not gonna like tell you that I haven't been wrong. I mean, there's a couple episodes, if you go back into our catalogs, I'll say something and I'm thinking of like that Final Fight guy. Oh yeah, it's 2 players. Well, no, it's not. And it's been a while since I played
Super
it.
Mega Force.
Yeah, there's another one. So, and it's not done intentionally. And,
No.
I think we know what we're talking about,
Yep.
but, the bottom line is we're human beings and we may make a mistake. We may screw up a title. We might mess up a year that something came out, a fact, because for the most part, I can only speak for Dan and myself. I mean, we're giving you stuff off the cuff, for the most part. I know some of our guests might have like a cell phone or a laptop, and while we're talking, they're kind of, maybe looking up some facts and stuff when it's
Yep.
their turn. But, we're just kind of giving it to you in the moment as it's happening. And that's what makes this so much fun.
Exactly. This is raw dog. No protection,
No.
no cuts. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a really fun idea. Thanks, Wolf, for he was kind of the mastermind where having the idea, and then we just started talking about it. I was like, this is great. We have all this knowledge. Let's just start recording some of this stuff, and then we can bring some friends in. So I mean, so I would say Wolf is really the mastermind when it comes to a lot of the game stuff. I mean, I have some in there, but I'm more of a mastermind. I'm usually all over the place derailing things because my brain is going 900 miles an hour. But
He's
yeah,
just being humble, folks.
But it's a great relationship. It's a great relationship. There's we are very similar in a lot of ways, and then we have the good yin and yang in certain areas too, which is fantastic. I appreciate him for who he is, and really his love for just people in general. Like, he really does care about people. If you knew about Wolf, dude, he'd give you the shirt off his back, and he's going to give you the knowledge in his brain if you want it. And that's the great thing about this show.
And vice versa with my partner there. I mean, that's why I think we get along so well. And, and we've been on this ride and experience with one another for, going on 4 years now since we met, online on actually a gaming forum, believe it or not. So, we definitely share similar things. We're both fathers. We're family men first and foremost, but our hobbies, as you could see, looking in the back and peering into our humble abodes, you could see all sorts of gaming stuff. arcades and V-pins and consoles and gaming posters and memorabilia. And it's just because that's what we love. And that love hopefully comes across into your computers, when we meet with you every so often, once a month, twice a month, maybe, and
Yep.
talk about all these great things. And we have so many great ideas too. It's going to be so much fun to kind of make it a realization soon.
Yeah, very cool. So, before we head on out, if you enjoy this type of content and you want to be notified when some of these things go live, just make sure that you hit a subscribe. You get the notification bell too. That's usually the best way that we can get this stuff out to you. If you would like, if you like the concepts and all this stuff, great. Like and subscribe. If you don't like it, still like and subscribe. No, I'm just kidding. You can do what you want, but this is a fun environment, a safe environment for people to just have a good time and us share some knowledge. And just it's basically a video podcast is really what we're talking about here, and it's a lot of fun hanging out with my friends. Again, Wolfman is always on this journey with us, and we're gonna have different celebrities and different,
Mm-hmm.
there's gonna be random oddballs in here with weird keyboard fetishes, but we'll talk about them later. So
And don't forget, Dan, too. I mean, something that we're going to try to do is community engagement. So when you pop on the computer and you see on Dantron's YouTube channel, there might be a blurb and we might be talking about a system. I'll just hypothetically say PlayStation 2. And we might say, hey, look, what are your top 5 PS2 games? And who knows, maybe one of the games we'll see and we'll say, oh my God, that's a great, call by, John Dingleberry. And we'll bring that into the show and it'll just be, it's a way to kind of get everybody involved. And we maybe ask you questions and there might be polls, did you like this,
huge polls,
console? What's up?
huge polls,
Yeah, right. Huge, huge polls.
huge.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Interact with us. Leave
Yep.
comments. Tell us what you're thinking. If you want us to cover something, you have a weird subject that you'd like us to talk about. I know there's certain subjects that sometimes people they talk about, like how was it like with the old arcades and stuff like that. If you want an episode where we talk about just arcades, we can do that. Just all you got to do is tell us what you're looking for, and we'll try and make that happen.
And don't forget too, like when Dan premieres the show on his channel, we always make sure to do what's it called?
We're in the live chat, the premiere
Live
chat.
chat. So
Yep.
we're watching the show along with you, and you can type in questions or say, "Oh my God, that was funny by so and so," or
Yep.
"Hey man, maybe you should consider, maybe adding these games on a future episode." So it's a great way to kind of for you guys and gals to bring in your suggestions and your comments and join us on this journey as well on Tuesday nights.
Yeah, just bring it on. Bring it on. I'll make sure that I give the heads up. If you have that notification bell rung, you'll see when I have a premiere launch up, and then you can get notified. And then we'll see you there. All right. So
This sounds awesome.
Dantron 69K, Wolfman, Old School Law. Hope to see you around. Later.
Peace.